So guys, if you can't tell, the background is different. That's because I got a reading chair. I found this at the local secondhand store and I was like, this has potential is what it has. Mr. Darcy is up here. It's a little crochet dragon guy I made, and he's named Mr. Darcy after a dragon from the Wormwood Abbey series. But okay. Today we are going to be talking about books that I'm excited to read that I do not own. And the reading wrap up is not happening. I tried using a different editing app and it just pissed me off. So the reading wrap up for October is not happening, unfortunately. Sorry about that. But I thought this is going to be a fun one because I have all the books pulled up. I am probably like missing some on my long list. And this list has been compiled over like a year and a half. So there's quite a lot of books on here. The majority is fantasy, I would say. But yeah, let's just get started. I have a nice warm cup of tea, and I hope you have a nice cozy drink, because it is quite freezing here. I don't know how the weather is at where you live. But yes, I have all of the books pulled up here, and I thought we could just talk about them, and it would be just a nice little bookish chat feeling. Okay, this is in no particular order, but first up we have The Agape Bearer. I think that's how you pronounce that. And this is a different style of book for me because it is a graphic novel. I don't know if every single page has like art work on it, but I think it's like the majority is artwork. But I shall read the synopsis to you guys. It says, the most powerful force in the universe falls out of the sky and into the hands of a magicless 13-year-old girl. Lisa Robbie, a freckled, soon-to-be 8th grade girl from Keyport, New Jersey, happens upon a shooting star that isn't merely space debris, but is magic, the Agape magic. This leads her to a whole new way of life where she learns she has the most powerful magic in all 4 galaxies, a power that the Guardians have waited 120 years for. And they are not too thrilled about it. The only person who sees her worthy enough to wield this magic is this 700-year-old brutish wishing star gardener, Gaius. Still, even he won't tell her the Agape's true purpose, the purpose for Lisa's life. Curiosity takes Lisa down a path of nightmares as the Agape magic begins to take a toll on her heart, and she must decide if this new way of life is worth all the pain and sorrow tagged along with it. The Agape Bearer Wishing Stars, that's the first. The first book isn't just called The Agape Bearer, it's called The Agape Bearer Wishing Stars, is the beginning of an epic light versus darkness saga, a fantasy adventure perfect for those who enjoy constant tugging at their heartstring and plenty of magical encounters. So this has been a series I have been eyeballing for a while. One of my favorite authors, Alyssa J. Zavalianos, really loves this series and she posts about it. And so I was like, I might like it too. That one just sounds like a great time, and it's definitely what I think I would love. And those are by Hannah Taylor Lindsay. Next we have The Breaking Age by V.S. Kensington. This is a series called The Knights of Valor, and there's only one book so far, but the cover is stunning. It's sort of simplistic, but I love it. So the synopsis is, shadow is falling and the light of the swords beckons to be found. On a stormy night, a young bard enters a tavern in the west. The stranger is curious, but even more curious is the tale he brings upon his simple lute. A tale of a kinship, a prophecy, and a mortal king. Years earlier, a kingdom celebrates its golden age with the crowning of their prince, but peace is breaking. The empire conspires against them, and when they try to escape, the people of Aulacron are captured. But fate soon brings together a band of unlikely heroes to fulfill their destiny in retrieving the Swords of Valor, gifts given to the ancient knights for their goodness and bravery. As rumors of darkness spread across the lands, the band of rebels must use their courage and wits to solve a riddle, steal a key, and find the swords. Their power is able to withstand the armies of shadow created to protect and not destroy the people of Endor? Just kind of sounds like Andor. With their hope that the light will overcome the shadows that threaten them, the kinship sets out on the most incredible journey in the history of Endor. So this sounds really amazing, as well as I think I saw somewhere that it sort of is a knights, King Arthur and his knights of the Round Table retelling in a way. Then we have The Way of Lucerium by Christopher Razia. And this, holy moly, the synopsis is so big. But Geoffrey, never expected to lose everything. He was a wildly popular bard, a dedicated subject of the great and prosperous nation of Trastaluk, and a fervent devotee to the Trastalucerian motto, progress before all. But when a secret mission to root out a family of traitors goes horribly awry, and no one but Geoffrey is left alive, his history of loyalty no longer seems to matter. The committees need someone to blame for such a disaster, and Geoffrey's account that an entire house disappeared before his eyes is much too far-fetched to save him from being their scapegoat. But losing everything isn't always a total loss. At his lowest point, Geoffrey is rescued by a band of shadowy figures whose questionable actions and vague answers leave him both fascinated and terrified. When the leader of the band is revealed to be the very man whose house vanished in front of Geoffrey, the bard must decide between betraying his saviors to regain the favor of a dreadful lord, or rejecting his former allegiances and embracing the way of Lucerium, a secret path at once mystical and grotesque that allows its followers to bridge the gap between the spiritual and material realms and to harness the fabric of existence itself. As Geoffrey struggles with a torrent of truths and choices that threaten to overwhelm him, he is certain of one thing. Either path will lead to suffering, but only one can grant Geoffrey true light and true life. And this cover, love it. Hopefully, though, that sticker, the book award sticker, isn't like actually on the cover, because I hate stickers on the cover. But yeah, that sounds, I did not realize that it was a book where they harnessed the spiritual world. That sounds crazy, and I think my mind will be blown by that. Then we have yet another series. The majority of these are fantasy. I don't think there's like any non-fantasy on here. But next we have A Wounded Sky, The Chronicles of the Lightbearers by R.L. Harris. Let's read the synopsis because this book does sound quite interesting, and I really love the style of the artwork on the cover. It's very fantastical. In the radiant kingdom of Caelum, where the children of starlight sing Elion's glory, the sky trembles with coming sorrow. So already I love the writing because that first line, that was beautiful. So I think I'm gonna like it. I'm very easy to please. Captain Valerian longs to lead Elion's charge, but unity among his guard is fracturing. Pride festers, trust withers, and in the heart of Caelum's golden halls, darkness begins to stir. Valerian must decide, will he fight for Elion's light or grasp for the glory of his own? First among the children of starlight, advocate Tyrion feels silence grow where once there was song. Shadows gnaw at the edge of his thoughts. Honored, beloved, yet passed over. A restless yearning rises within him, one that could shake the heavens. The kingdom of Caelum stands upon the brink of unraveling. Its fall has already begun, not in thunder, but in silence. One hope could save it, one act could break it. If Elion has chosen dust, let the stars choose fire. Let them tremble, let them fall and burn. That is a very gripping synopsis, I will say. And it sounds very intense. That is one I'm going to have to get to quick. Then we have yet another fantasy. I'm sure you are all shook that is yet another fantasy. We have Moonscript by H.S.J. Williams. This is a series called The Kings of Aselvia, and the second book is called Collusion. And I actually do quite like the cover of this one as well. Even though I don't like people on the covers, this one looks very well done, and I like the art style. But 70 years the elven prince has been lost to the darkness, assumed dead by his people, and endlessly broken for a book that connects to the hidden realm of his ancestors, a land untouched by evil. And now a light in the shadows, a chance for freedom, but those willing to help him come from the unlikeliest of worlds. The orphan girl yearning for a loving family, and the boy who won't leave her side. A healer maiden given an unexpected chance for a life beyond narrowed expectations. A grieving creature flown far from home. They all search for something, and now their fates are tied to his. If their quest for life can pull him from the dark mire in which his soul drowns, then perhaps he can be saved, or else he will drag them all down to a fate worse than death. Sometimes I think I'm illiterate. So that sounds so intense and something that I would love, and I'm just excited for all of these. I'm so excited for all of them, which, if you guys want to take recommendations from this and go read these books, definitely report back if they're good or not, because I would love to know. Then we have a duology I'm so excited for. This is the Instenhold Chronicles. First is The Queen of Shifting Sands, and I love both of the covers of these. I think they're gorgeous. And this is a more desert-based world, which I feel like we don't see a lot in fantasy, or at least I haven't personally read a lot in fantasy, and it's something that I do quite enjoy. So that already is something that I know that I'm going to like a lot. But the synopsis is, the stars have aligned in the kingdom of Instenhold, or so Lystra believes, as she eagerly awaits her wedding day. Her beloved, the king, is everything her heart desires, but when a brutal attack leaves her betrothed dead and Instenhold on the cusp of collapse, she finds her future in ruins and the throne beyond her reach. With invasion looming across the desert, Lystra refuses to let grief keep her from defending her kingdom, even if that means forging a marriage alliance with Elaric, the brother of her lost love, a prince shrouded in secrets. Elaric, now heir to the throne, has spent his life waiting to die. An untouchable curse leaks beneath his skin, and though he aches to see its suffocating hold severed, he's long given up hope. When his brother's death drags him from the shadows, Elaric must find the strength to shoulder the crown's burdens and secure a queen, a wife to protect his kingdom after the curse claims him. With the adoration of the people already in the palms of her hands, Lystra is the ideal candidate. But even if she doesn't spurn him for his ruinous curse, he'll need to protect her from its dangers, and his heart as he finds himself steadily drawn to the girl's unbreakable spirit. With death on the horizon, Elaric must become the king he never planned to, and save Instenhold before his time runs out. Lystra and Elaric only have one summer to prepare their kingdom for invasion, but more than one threat prowls their desert, and the cost of survival might just destroy them all. So this is a duology, which I assume it is, that I have been eyeing for a long time. I am so excited to read this. Next, we have this one I'm also so excited for. That's The Door on Halfbald Hill by Helena Sorensen. And the synopsis is extremely short, but it says, when the blood moon rose, death came rushing into the world. Now the water is bitter, blight consumes everything, the crone haunts the hill, and the druid of Blackthorn searches desperately for hope. That's the whole synopsis. But it has Celtic-inspired lore. I love a druid character, and I am really excited for this one. I think it's going to be quite amazing. Then we have Flameheart by Dalton and Emily Bequette. The synopsis is, 17-year-old Laia Corvin supports her fracturing family no matter the cost. It's irrelevant that her father's absence eats away at her false smiles and reassurances that insecurities plague her mind. Leah's only reprieve is writing stories with her grandfather where she can escape as a ranger to a floating kingdom with roguish Prince Case. But everything crumbles when her grandfather suddenly passes away. As grief unleashes her barely bound anxiety, it also unlocks Leah's slumbering magic and drags Case into reality. However, when barriers fray and dreams come true, so do nightmares. Monsters lurk in the streets, envious societies hunger for power, and Leah finds herself in the center of a nefarious plot. With ancient orders governing the magic her family never told her about, it seems her grandfather's death was no accident. Only Leah can retrace his steps for answers, but even with Case by her side, can Leah embrace who she's only allowed herself to be in fantasy? For her kingdom's sake, she must face the darkness within and without before there are no stories left to tell. I literally got goosebumps from that. That sounds so good. Him coming alive into our reality. Then we have one whose cover is simply incredible. Like, this cover is probably one of the prettiest book covers I've ever seen, and that's The Rooted and the Winged by Samantha Curran. And this is the most whimsical and enchanting sounding book that I could possibly find, I feel. But Fenrir is a fairy with immortal blood in his veins, blood he revoked the ancient law to protect. Now, hungry for eternal life, fairies are choosing immortality over duty. Too many, without their tether to the Fae, the Dryads are dying, and the sanctuary of their forest is fading. Essen is a young Dryad who has just begun to walk the earth. When a terrible flood causes her sister to rise above ground early, sickly and weak, Essen knows she needs a strong forest to survive. Determined for her sister to walk, she joins a stranger on his quest to reunite the fairies and the Dryads. Together, Fenrir and Essen journey to the Fae of the river, mountains, and the sea to warn them of the dangers of the Dryads' plight. But even as they rally others to their selfless cause, Fenrir has a secret that begins to destroy him, Essen, even the forest itself. This sounds so good. We have a cozy fantasy, and that is The Size of a Mustard Seed. This cover is also really cute, but the synopsis is, in the sunlight mountain village of Oliot, 16-year-old Zinmina Helvarez is content with her life as an outcast. As a death apothecary apprentice, Zinema spends her days gathering herbs, avoiding the townsfolk, and guarding the buried sanctuary entrusted to her. However, her peaceful routine is shattered when she discovers an unconscious, amnesiac stranger behind the sanctuary's locked gates. Thaddeus Rufus Montgomery III, that is quite a name, has a problem. He cannot remember. Despite his photographic memory, the talented inventor finds himself on the run from dark powers with no recollection of how or why he ended up in Zinema's land. As the two young adults try to navigate their new lives, forge friendships, and move forward, disaster crouches at the doorstep. When a mysterious material is unearthed in Anboto Mountain, home of a legendary dark figure in a new mining company dealing in golds and secrets, arrives, strange events unfold. As new friends and foes flood into the village, legendary creatures presumed to be mere myths begin to appear. Forced to take an active stand, Zinema and Thaddeus embark on a perilous journey to reclaim his memories, unravel the mystery, and thwart the sinister schemes of the immortal Queen Mira before it is too late. That sounds really good. It's so charming sounding, and like a little village, and the characters sound like such enjoyable characters. And this is by Val Melvis, and this is a series. A couple more. I know, this isn't even the full list. These are just the ones I could remember off the top of my head. But this one I have also wanted to read for a long time, and it is Where Darkness Dwells. This is the Song of the Soulless series. This is a book series I've wanted to read so long. The covers, points for the covers. I definitely judge books by their covers, and this one gets a 5 out of 5 for me in the cover aspect. But the synopsis is, a land plagued with darkness and grief is all Amira knows. But when luminescent creatures appear in the veil, her inborn gift awakens and allows her to see the shadows for what they are. Caught between fear and the pull of light on her soul, she must decide whether her convictions are worth shattering the beliefs of those she loves. If courage fails her and she gives in to the pressing dark, her people could remain shrouded forever. But if she stands against it, true light might penetrate the veil for the first time. So, over a shorter synopsis, but I'm so excited. And the second book is called Where Bleeds the Light, and I think I like the second cover better because I do care about covers quite a lot. But yeah, that is just some fantasy books I am really excited to read in the next couple of months. It's quite a long list, I'm aware of. But tell me what books you're excited to read, because I would love to know. And thank you guys so much for watching. Sorry that the reading wrap up is not happening, and goodbye.